So today I wanted to talk about racism. I'm not laughing at racism, I'm laughing at Janet's comment that am I the one person? Thanks, Janet. Did you show up Tuesday at 8? I wasn't there and I'm sorry, and I didn't even say anything about why I wasn't there. But thank you for showing up. So, hi, Ruby. I wanted to talk about racism. Um, and like I said, it might not be that articulate. And I am in the process of making some videos about these topics, but talk about it for a second. So I just wanted to say that I'm racist, and um, so are you. And so if we could just get that out of the way, that would be fantastic. Um, because what I think happens when we I'm speaking primarily to and about white people, when we view racism as being racist is inherently tied up in whether we are a good or a bad person. It prevents us. It does prevent us from being able to do work, do anti-racist work. Um, a lot of times, I think what happens is we, um, we're all racist. We've grown up in a racist society. We've internalized racist messages. These systems are built on the premise of white supremacy, of white superiority. And white folks continue to benefit from that. It's just really, I don't even know why that's up for discussion. And so it's like impossible not to inherit some of those beliefs that are so covert. Is covert when it's like subtle? Yeah, covert. That, and some are overt, but like, a lot of times we can recognize what is like distinctly an act of hate, but not the like insidious. Oh, I don't know if I'm using that correctly either. But these covert forms of racism and the ways that we are racist. I see I've lost a few of you. That's okay. Maybe I'll catch it later. So where was I? We have internalized those. It's impossible not to. And the point that I was trying to make in the other video that I'm trying to post, but I'm trying to find out how to do subtitles because it's something I've been trying to do forever. And I don't know if you know this about me. It's technology is not my strong suit. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make in the other video was that we often accept. So in coaching, like I do a lot of work with folks about how they have. We all have these internalized messages, and in coaching, it most often relates to like our sense of self-worth. And we have all these, like many of us have like a negative voice in our head that we're not even aware of. So a lot of the work of coaching is recognizing how that voice, noticing that voice, and then recognizing how that voice is causing us to feel certain ways, and then causing us to act certain ways, and then our life is a certain way because of it. So like that's the premise, and lots of people can get behind that with coaching. So racist thoughts, it's not any different. Like we've interpreted those thoughts. So sometimes when we have a thought like, if I'm racist, then I'm a bad person, then we either get defensive when we are told that something that we've done is harmful or hurtful or racist and or all the above, or we have to do some personal work where we might realize those things, because we feel like we have to defend our honor or like our goodness as a person. So and then often what happens opposite of that is like, I think it's called virtue signaling, or like performative anti-racist work, where it's done in a way that is to alleviate the guilt that we feel for being racist and or being a aka being a bad person. So it's not really done from the place that the work ought to be done from, which is like that everybody deserves to be treated with basic, like have basic human rights and be treated equally or equitably. So if we can first acknowledge that like we are just all racist, and that some of us have done more unlearning or unpacking than others, but that it's not necessarily tied to whether we're a good person or not. So you can be a good person and be racist. I mean, good is subjective, but you can be a really shady person and not be, and be racist. But once we can not tie our worth to it, then we can start to actually just like do the work from a place of like wanting the work to be done instead of trying to defend or alleviate our guilt. So those of you that are still here, I've lost quite a few of you. Do you have any thoughts or questions on that? I have a lot of other thoughts, which I will save for another video. And it's not like these thoughts are new, like to me or many other people. But I do think it applies to, like, I'm looking at it from a coaching. Hi, thanks for being here, Danny. Do you have any thoughts about what I've said or any questions, or I'm open to discussion, healthy discussion. Then, okay. Put it in the chat if so, anyone who's still here. So yeah, using the framework. I actually just published. Is it published when you put it on your own website? I put a blog on my website that's kind of using these same principles of like what thoughts might be coming up for folks. Oh, my Instagram just paused. What thoughts might be coming up for folks that might be blocks to doing anti-racist work. And I'll talk about some of these other thoughts in other videos, but they might be like, I'm scared of getting it wrong, or oh, what was the other one? I don't remember. You'll have to check out the blog. That's on my website. Did I say that? Yes, I did. olivevantop.com/blog. It's very, very creative, but easy to remember. I want to say that I've learned so much because of the recent activities, and your input is so welcome as well as I learn. Thanks, Janet. Yeah, thanks. And like, I, want to not take up too much space, but also use the platform that I have to talk about these things too. And yeah, I've done a fair amount of learning as well in the last week and a half, which has been lovely. So I guess we'll leave it on that note. If anyone has any comments that they want to put, or resources, I love resources, put them in the comments. Anything that you're working on or learning about, or anything that relates to this, ideally. I mean, if you're working on building a garden box, that's cool too, but talking about different resources, anti-racism resources. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that. So thanks for coming.